Good morning, guys. Yesterday, we had an interesting day regarding Donald Trump, Greenland, and how it impacts our Bitcoin, the legacy markets, and everything around that. So today, we want to take that and look and see whether we can find new trends emerging. The big thing is that I believe that Bitcoin is in this inflection point now where it's going to either start shooting up to the upside, give us a nice relief rally, or a massive rebound. So let's have a look at that. Let's quickly recap what happened yesterday. So Donald Trump said, I want Greenland. Give me Greenland or else I'm going to put a 10% tariff on everybody. So the US Parliament, in response to his speech yesterday, has basically said all trade negotiation deals are down. And Trump also had to kind of dropped it near the end of his speech that he won't go to war for Greenland. He just really wants Greenland, so much so that he will tax everybody. What does that mean for the Dixie? Now, the Dixie historically is how we've been tracking our Bitcoin and our altcoins. You kind of want to have a little bit of a inverse correlation between Dixie going up and Bitcoin then going down, those kind of things. So what are we expecting? Well, the idea behind the tariffs is to strengthen the dollar by taxing everybody, charging everybody to do business with the dollar. And this should, by all definitions, drive the Dixie to the upside. And this will be bad for risk on assets because now there's less capital. People have to pay more for the dollar. And the flip side is if this then fails, Donald Trump's land or resource grab fails and the Dixie starts selling down, that would be really good for risk on assets to a point, because now you have a scenario where being in the dollar is the worst thing to do. You're going to have to spend it or move it elsewhere. It's going to force people's hands. Now, at the moment, with this being said, we don't know which one is going to be. We're ranging and we're chopping sideways on the Dixie. It means that money is doing the following. It's going to gold. It's going to silver, because I don't know what the hell the market's going to do. They sit with the same problem. It's at this stage, it's a balancing beam. So follow where the money is. The money is going to these levels first. This means that we need to look at our Bitcoin to the Dixie, because if money is betting that the Dixie is going to drop, it means that our Bitcoin needs to go up. And at the moment, the way that it works is we want the Dixie. When you look at the Dixie real quick, when the Dixie is at lows, I'm going to mark it out there. There's the Dixie at a low. That typically signals this blue line Bitcoin at highs. And when the Dixie is at highs, let's mark that out. That typically signals the end of a bear market. So we want the Dixie to do what? Either keep on going up, that would be really good for us, or give us our bull market, go down, give us our bull market. Sorry guys, just misspoke there. We want the Dixie to go down to give us our bull market, which is what we had now. We don't want this to be a bottom signal, which is then a top signal for Bitcoin. That's the whole idea. So where we're at right now, what happens is going to be very important for us. If this thing breaks to the downside, amazing. We can even then argue, if we take this and scale this into the monthly time frame, super cycle, those claims saying Bitcoin to $1 million. Sadly, though, if we look at what is happening right now, Bitcoin is not really outperforming gold or any of those things because of this, because we're kind of fighting it. And that's potentially because Bitcoin is failing its first digital gold stress test. So typically, if we were saying for the last 15 years, Bitcoin is digital gold, why now, in the time when gold is doing what it's supposed to be doing, rallying like crazy, silver is rallying like crazy, why isn't Bitcoin rallying? That's a big question mark all of us are asking us. And it's actually very simple to put it in this perspective. At the moment, we're sitting in a situation where whoever is worried about money is not going to be retail. It's the big players. It's banks, it's businesses, and even countries. Bitcoin has a 1.7 trillion market cap. Gold has got a 33 trillion market cap. You can't do anything with Bitcoin in that regard. And that's potentially the only reason why it's failing at the moment. The regulatory framework is being set in place. Adoption is happening, but these mechanics are extremely slow. So to end off where we are with Bitcoin right now, I think in all fairness, if gold continues on higher, if silver continues on higher, Bitcoin will potentially go higher still, but it's going to feel like alt season to Bitcoin in the previous bull market. It means that everybody's going to say, but when is Bitcoin now going to go and light up the screens and the tickers and give us 100x? It's not going to do that. It's going to perform subpar to this. And that's all that this chart basically shows. It shows you that although Bitcoin has gone up, it's performing subpar to gold at the moment. And that is the hope. So when that trend changes and it's going to outperform gold again, that's when we really want to be looking at Bitcoin. And hopefully at that stage, from a time point of view, that's going to be around only in September, August this year. Now, just to explain this chart real quick before we move into the rest of the trade and trend directions, it's very simple. When we look at when Bitcoin halved, first to second halving, and we apply a time fib between these points. You can see there's the 2 points. Around the 38.2, that's the top, 618, that's the bottom. When we were here, we did the exact same thing, 38.2 top, 618 bottom. And we did it here as well, 38.2, 618, by just applying the fib between the halvings. Bitcoin has an upcoming halving coming, guys. And if we then try and look into the future again, there's the top, and it's nailed it beautifully. I'll zoom in there now. Nailed the top beautifully, and now the expectation is that there should be a bottom. The only one thing that this chart doesn't really tell us, it doesn't tell us whether it's going to be $30,000 or whether we're going to be range bound here. And my personal bet, this is my personal bet, on the basis that if gold keeps on going and silver keeps on going, your Bitcoin bear market is probably going to be the kindest, softest one that we've had in prior years. So I'm not expecting a 30,000 just because everybody wants it now. It will probably be a kinder one, meaning it will probably trend like this, hit resistance at some stage, come and test the bottom at some stage, and then hopefully by then we will have gone through the time needed for this thing to build a new foundation to move on further. There you have it. So that's my prediction. Now, what is happening for this week? Today, we've got big news coming. So here we are today. Okay. Final GDP for the US. Trump made some crazy claims. We need to see whether this is strong. He says rates need to be reduced at a quicker rate. Why slow a heating economy? You can outgrow inflation rather than deal with inflation. That's his argument from the speech yesterday. He also pointed out that how much they are spending on their military power is almost equal to what Bitcoin's market cap is. So that was an interesting little finding there as well. So these figures are going to come out today, and I think they're going to be a little bit of a nothing burger because everybody has already kind of positioned themselves in relation to this. So now we just want to see whether the existing trends resume, hold. Let's have a look at those trends then. I've got Bitcoin here on the 4 hour, and my anticipation yesterday, let's do this. My anticipation yesterday was to short Bitcoin. And I was waiting for the signal. We didn't get the signal during the speech. It did go and make a low, the shakeout happened, and I'm still in that short on the basis that this is my invalidation level. I don't want to see this now go Bitcoin reclaim 90, because if we do reclaim 90, the short-term outlook for Bitcoin is no longer bearish. It will probably move to the upside. Looking at this then from the 4-hour time frame, this then means that if we reclaim 90, Bitcoin's target's going to be 94, possibly, and so forth. And if we stay where we are right now and the lower time frames break down, that then opens the door for us for additional sweep of these lows, 84, and even going as low as 80. This means that right where we're at right now, it's a seesaw. It's which side it's going to pivot to. And typically when we move into those kind of environments, you'll find that the market creates these triangle patterns. It's not the cleanest one. We do have that liquidation wick there, but it's those kind of patterns that tell us that it's trying to decide which it wants to go. And it would also mean that if you look at the liquidity, you'll find that most of your liquidity will be clumped around this point with mass liquidations there and there, meaning that people are expecting the market to either get all their stops taken out on whichever side, and then for the trend to move to the upside. So that's what we're waiting for Bitcoin right now. How do I trade this? Simple. I stick with the 4-hour trend. 4-hour trend being bearish, I remain being a bear. The 1 hour is telling me that we're not ready just yet. And once the 1 hour is ready, I've got confluence between the 4 and the 1 hour. I will switch to the 15-minute and I will use the Buddy Pro, which makes life so much simpler, just to wait for it to turn from blue to orange. When it does that, I'm just going to use the 5 or the 3 to 5 candle rule, meaning that's the candle. It's at the close of that candle, it turns orange. I'm going to use the overlap between that and the rest to put my stop. 5 candles back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this instance, over there. And then I'll stay in that move like you should have done here. I'll stay in the move for as long as it remains orange. Turn back blue. There you go. Or alternatively, if I really believe in the high swing, as long as that strategy analyst tells you to stay bear, which in this days, it's not there just yet on the smaller time frame. And that makes for the easiest trade around because now you're trading by colors. It's like a paint by numbers thing. You wait for the trend. The analysis has already incorporated the momentum, the structures and everything. So when it flips, it gives you a decent analysis. And then you can also use this very simple. You can just double click on that little text box and say, put this into trader mode, because then you can use the trade setups that come with that. So I'm just going to hit the replay button real quick so you can just see how it will look on the screen in the moment. You can hit the trades, and every time we enter the gray zone, you go short. Every time enters the gray zone, you go short. It's as simple as that. Now, for some guys, I find that the buddy indicator, there's a little bit of an update issue on this. So this is the latest version. You see the latest version, I've added a few things and made a few tweaks. So the easiest way for you guys to sort this out is to just remove the indicator completely from your screen, then go to indicators and search for it either there or go to your invite only if you already have access and type and wait for the Buddy Pro indicator tick box, because there will be multiple versions of it. Now, if you load this one, add it to your favorites, then it should update and it should give you the trade boxes. There you go. Now there's gray boxes. You can see now they're there. So remove it, reload it. Please do that. Now it's easy for you to see when and what you should have done where and how powerful it is. This box started printing there to there at that time zone. So you had all this time to wait for that entry. And where we're at right now, it's saying still favor the shorts. There you have it. Okay, now going to gold, because yesterday the idea was that we wanted to go long gold. Let's just remove this. I wanted to go long gold. This is where we were yesterday during the stream. I wanted to go long gold, and we didn't get the flip to blue because I was waiting for the flip to blue. Now we have that. So the gold swing long is in effect, guys. And the argument is, even from where we are right now, it's okay. You want this to be your swing position, your entry. I'll just move it there for now because the nearest makes no difference. And you stay in this move for as long as the candles remain blue, or alternatively, the strategy analyst tells you that it's no longer a swing trade long. Now you're going to say, Rudo, okay, great. I don't have the indicator. How do you get it? Well, simple. You can head over to my Discord, links in the video description, and you can go to the navigation page, and there at upgrade access is the options. You can either get it via the WAP, Me6, or a direct crypto payment. Okay. Go to my WAP page. I have 4 subscribers. We've only launched this month so far, And one of them has already given me a 5-star review. Very nice of you. I really do appreciate it. The other subscribers, please send me some reviews. Let's talk about it. So you get access to everything, including the premium group. But for today and for this month, there's a Primex BT promotion for you guys as well to help you get in on the move and maybe say, well, I just want to try this. So if you open an account using Primex BT, this Primex BT link, once you've done that, you deposited $1,000, give or take. I'm not going to give or take. And you've had one trade. You can open a support ticket and just send me your user ID. So you're just going to click on that. And you're going to send me your account ID. It's going to open a one-on-one chat channel. So nobody else can see it. It's just me and that person can talk. And you can send me your ID. If all it checks out, I'll give you 1 month, only 1 month, access as a trial period to the private group as well as the buddy indicator. So you can try and see it for yourself and see how powerful this thing is. There you have it. And another big thing, or another big advantage is very simple. You can't trade gold or anything else on all the other exchanges with the liquidity that we would need to not have a slippage or anything like that. If you want to trade gold, you want to trade silver, you want to trade oil, Primex BT gives you those, where the conventional crypto exchanges doesn't do that. Okay, so we're in swing long for gold. Let's see where we're at with silver. This was a silver yesterday. I also wanted to get that. It had a shakeout, turned blue. So silver would potentially still come down to about 93. So if you didn't get the entry, that would be the entry, and then you would swing long for silver as well. So the setup, I'm just going to lay it out, would be there. Your silver invalidation is below 91. So anywhere between where we are and 94, you're waiting for a little bit of a pullback. That's when you want to enter, and then you want to stay the course with this one. We're at all-time highs. We've been at all-time highs for weeks. You're only going to get it wrong once when it's going to be an all-time high and never again. Statistically, you're better off betting all-time highs are going to continue on until it doesn't. And with the Trump, the Greenland, the EU, and all that nonsense, what is common sense telling you? People are unsure. They're going to keep on rushing to these commodities. Simple as that. There you have it. Thanks so much for today, guys. I'm going to head over to your comments, quickly see what you guys have been saying, what's happening in your side of the screen. So let's see. Hello, Loza. Nice to have you. And Stefan. First time back in forever, my friend. You used to be always Mr. Number One. It's really nice to see you as here as well again, my friend. Let's see what else you have. What's my thoughts on USDT dominance? That's an interesting thing, because it functions in the same way as the Dixie would function. So you want the USDT dominance. Just quickly load up the market caps for you guys. USDT dominance sitting over there. You want the exact same thing. You want confluence. The USDT dominance needs to establish a bearish trend. Once it does that, it means that people don't want to hold on to their tether. So they're going to either spend it on Bitcoin or they're taking it out of the ecosystem. I hope that that's not the case. It doesn't necessarily guarantees that Bitcoin's going to go up. It just tells us that people don't want tether. So if we look at where we are right now, do I think that we can go and test a lower level? USDT dominance being at resistance gives us confluence with Bitcoin being at support levels, that there's that potential for that retest. Meaning, if this thing decides to push down lower, people don't want tether, and if Bitcoin finds favor with everybody and starts rallying up, that's a nice confluential element. Looking at this, though, by itself and saying that the one or the other is going to happen is yet again not possible at the moment. Why? Because we're range bound. Yes, this looks at this as a trend, correct, but this trend is still within a range. Same as Bitcoin on the 4-hour. So it's a little tough at this stage to just say bet long or bet short. Bet in whichever way the market breaks out. That's the way that we need to look at that right now. Stanku, hello to you, my friend. Let's see what else we have. At some point, would you be able to look at CLO, Lab, and Mina? I'll rewatch later. CLO, Lab, and Mina, these kind of coins is, at this stage, I've looked at them this morning. I'm not really finding any love there. real quick, let's have a look. Let's quickly load lab. If I want to trade this thing long, because I want to try and get with the breakout at this stage. This is a 15-minute time frame. You can see had a big move, had a big retrace. It needs to find a floor. Why do I want to trade these things long? So if we look at them on the 4-hour time frame, in this instance, there's a daily chart loaded. Let's just load the 4-hour time frame. You can see that the trend has been up and we're in a consolidation. The hope was that lab is going to find some sort of a move and then starts moving back up. That's when I want to trade them long. Where we're at right now, they're choppy. So even in my Discord, where we're sitting right now, I mean, yesterday I was hoping that we were going to get the move. We were looking for that, but it's not ready. They're not ready. And at the end of the day, so from a trading point of view, they're not ready. That's the main thing. Hello, Dennis, Mr. Frontier Pioneer. Goeiemorgen vir jou ook. Thanks so much for taking the time, joining me in. So guys, you know what we want to do. You know what to do. We want to be looking for short on Bitcoin. Wait for that to turn orange, bang in your short. You want to be looking for longs on gold. You want to be looking for longs on silver. And you want to be considering shorting oil. This is another one. It's turned bearish right now on the 15-minute from where we wanted to look for the short yesterday. So this might have been the shakeout. Asia market gives you the accumulation. UK markets give you the manipulation, the shakeouts. And the US market tends to give you the trend. That's how it normally works. And if you want to have tabs on that, you can also just switch on the time zone or the trading zone side of the indicator. It lines it up. So we had Asia markets. We've got UK markets running right now. And we're waiting for the US market to take things over. Simple as that. Have a lovely day. Thanks so much for joining in. See you guys soon. Cheers, everybody.